Cool. Good morning. Good morning. It is Sunday, January 5th, 2025. And we are going to play all our fun puzzles. You can see our graphic down below. We're going to start with the connections and then go, I guess, in rainbow order. I didn't do that on purpose, but apparently it's in rainbow order. It's funny, I started doing the different puzzles in this exact order. We do connections and then mini crossword and then the Wordle and then the Strands and then the letterboxed. And then I was like, oh, I should make a graphic for that. And then I put it out. And then all of the theme colors for each of those happened to make a rainbow. So I think that was funny. All right, let's do our connections for today. So connections, if you've never played, you are trying to make 4 groups of 4 of related words. And at first, maybe it's not as obvious how the words are related, but that's part of the fun. You try to make matches based on these. So let's read the words. Let's try and figure out what they are. Stop, gross, make, home, yield, volume, slow, snare, quiet, kettle, net, mute, ear, sleepy, oil, and calm. Now, what jumped out to me right off the bat was gross, yield, volume, and net. These are, giant measurements. Here, let's see. Oh, it's one away. Oh, no. So maybe... Okay. See, I did this a couple days ago. It was somewhat of a red herring, and I fell for it. So maybe I shouldn't fall for it today. If this is not an obvious one, I shouldn't keep thinking that it's obvious when it isn't. So we'll come back to those. Gross, volume, yield, and net. One away. All right. Well, let's read through them again. Here, you know what? Just to kind of clear the air of that one, maybe I should shuffle them. Make, sleepy. So where does snare come in? Snare is a kind of trap. Snare is like a snare drum. To mute, stop, volume. These are buttons on a music player, tape player or something. Let's see, what else would be there? Net. Quiet? Calm. Or slow. Quiet, calm. See, those could be a couple of things together. Sleepy, quiet, calm. So don't those feel like they go together too? I'm getting a lot of 3s. I'm getting a lot of 3s, but I'm not getting a 4th one. Sleepy, calm. Here, what were the other ones? Yield, volume, but maybe volume's not it. Gross, net. And I was thinking volume, but it said I was one away. And then make? Oh, I'm nervous about that. I don't want to throw away another answer. I don't want to click that just to tell me it's one away, and then I only have 3 guesses now. I don't like to throw guesses at the wall and see what sticks, because you only have 4 of those. Oil, kettle. I feel like those go together, but I don't know why. Sleepy is one of the 7 dwarves. Are there other dwarves out here? Sleepy, calm, slow, quiet. Those are kind of like subdued words. Let's see. Hardly bustling. Actually, that was one of the answers on the mini crossword. Was that yesterday or the day before? Oh, I hope they're not sharing answers with each other. Hardly bustling. Slow. Right? A not busy day is a slow day. That was the answer in the mini crossword a couple days ago. Let's see. Ear? Like a human ear, or there's also like an ear of corn. An ear of corn, a yield of corn, gross, a net. Are these measurements of corn? I'm so nervous, I don't want to guess it if it's wrong. Let's see, there's a volume button, there's a home button, a mute button, and a stop button. These are like buttons on a tape player. Remote control function or tape player or a remote control. Great. Okay, we're still missing the green category, which should just, yell out to us, but it's not. Snare. To snare is to collect, to yield. Is it these 3? No, it's still one away. Make? To earn. Oh, duh. Yeah. How much did you make? How much did you gross? How much did that yield you? And what's your net profit? Great. Okay, well that was the easy one, and I was just missing one. And make was it. All right, now snare, ear, oil, and kettle. How do these go together? You need an ear of corn, you need oil, and you need a kettle to make popcorn? I don't know. Let's find out. Submit. Words before drum. Okay, great. Yeah. That makes sense. Snare drum, ear drum, kettle drum, and oil drum. Okay, great. Well, snare drum, I thought snare drum, but I should have also added eardrum to that one. But that's great. I've been a drummer since I was 15, so that one should have screamed at me. The word snare drum did, but not adding eardrum to that too. Oh man, that was a good one. Let's see here. Now we go to the mini. And then I push that button right there. Okie doke. What verb or adjective is confusingly? Well, those are words, but why is that confusingly? Confusingly because verb and adjective are both nouns? Let's see if it's because it's a noun. On the sneak? On the sneak? Maybe so. And it's related to 5 down, where the heart is, it said. Home is where the heart is. So maybe this one's not right. Oh, well, no, I'm writing it on the down one. Hold on. Home. Home is where the heart is. Oh, I know this one. Duh, of course. Nope, that way. On the house. On the house. It's always nice when you get the first one on the left side on like the down, because then the other one's just, you can think of the word that starts with that letter. On holding a deed. One holding a deed would be the owner. The owner. Large in scope. As a photography lens. I am a photographer. I teach photography. So there's this macro. And then they're rolled in annoyance. You might roll your eyes. Oh, we didn't even read all of them. Oh, that's so funny. We didn't even read all of the answers. Look at this. Okay, well, let's go through the ones that we haven't seen. We'll just start at the top. We'll see them all. What verb or adjective is, confusingly? Well, verb is not a verb. Verb is a noun. Adjective is also a noun. On the blank. At first, I said on the cheap or on the sneak, but it starts with an H, and it is on the house. And then 5 down is related to that one, right there, on the house. And then this one, where the heart is, it said, and home is where the heart is. One holding a deed would be the owner. Something large in scope as a photography lens would be a macro, right? A large picture. Macro photography is beautiful. Google macro photography sometimes. It's just absolutely gorgeous. There's lots of pictures of bugs. You know, it's like up close, and then the depth of field is just super shallow. Like the front of the flower is in focus, the back of the flower is out of focus. You know, close-ups of things. We're taking the small world and bringing it larger, right? Larger than life. So that's macro. 8 across. They're rolled in annoyance. That would be eyes. Now, we did all of those straight across, and I have only read one of the down clues. So, you've got to be kidding. No way. No way. I've got a friend that's his catchphrase. No way. He says that for everything. Unit equal to roughly 28 grams. That's an ounce. Ounce. App customers are users. Infamous Roman Emperor Nero. And then this one we got to, and it helped us figure out all those other words. Where the heart is, it said. Home. Home is where the heart is. Cool. That was great. Okay. Now, I do have... I have a little bit of a strategy here, and I will tell you up ahead, I won't be looking at the chat, so if you guys are talking amongst yourselves, I will not even be looking at it, because essentially I want to sort of struggle through it myself, and that's part of the fun. You know, if you end up getting the answer, if you've already done the puzzle, that's great. You can keep it to yourself, or you can talk about it. I'm just not going to be looking at it. I love kind of the productive struggle of figuring out what this is. So my first strategy is to just come up with a word and deal with the consequences. And then I will find a couple of non-intersecting words that that don't cross it. Like, for example, if I tried ghost, that gives me nothing. Okay, so then for my second guess, I will need to pick from the words, from the letters that have not been guessed, right? So if I did, let's try A and K. Those letters. Oh, look, it's a C word. Okie dokie, it's a C word. And then if I still don't have very many letters, I will still try for, for another non-intersecting word. Like, what could we do? Oh, great word, plume. Which, it only gave us an E. Dang it. Okay, C-R-E. It's a C word. Now let's start thinking of words that could be C words here that have an R and an E in it. C is a great one for the beginning because it can go into other words, but I feel like I've already done a lot of those, right? CH, it's not an H. CI, I suppose it could be CI. It's not a CR word. We know that already because of the position of that R, the yellow R there. You know what I mean? Like it's very unlikely to be, it's not going to be CB. That's not a word. CV. CF isn't a word. CD isn't a word. Well, CD by itself is a word, but it doesn't start the word. So I'm thinking that the next letter is either an E or an I guess, because that's the only other vowel that would make sense here. Like if it was cider, that's a word. And the R and the E are happy. I don't know, should we see? Let's see if that does it. Okay, it is a ER word. C blank blank ER. And where we've used up all of our vowels and there's not a connecting letter there, I wonder I wonder if it's if it's a double letter. That's not a word. Crier? I mean, that's a word. Could be the double R. The town crier. C. I don't see any other letters that could go into it. CR does go into it. Oh, but we know that the CR isn't there. Okay, so it's not CR. Okay, that would be throwing away a guess. Thanks, voice inside my head. That would be throwing away a guess. So, if it's not, I really feel like it's a CE word. I don't think that's a word. These are usually, more common words you just didn't think of in the moment. And it is an ER. For sure it's an ER word. And I already know that R is not in the second place. That sounds like the word to put out in a couple different languages. Sayer, Seizure, Sepher. Is that a word? It's not a word. I mean that's something we could do. We could just, plug it in until it tells us, hey, that's not a word. Well, there's not a. You see, it's not a word. I already guessed that one. I doubt that one. Okay, so then this is a red herring then, because I am thinking that it's that when it's not. But it can't be the R. It can't be the R. See, it would have told me, yeah, the R is in this place, but it's not. I can see my chat moving, and bless your heart for probably screaming the answer at me, but I am not. I'm not going to look at it. I always love to kind of struggle through it myself. So, so if you are, yelling the answer to me, then thank you for that. But I am not going to look at it right now. Cyber. That's a word. That's a word. And the ER is in the right place. Should we try it? We have one more guess. Okay. Great. Okay. Like Cyber Monday, right? Cyber security, cyber, all this and that. Oh my gosh, that's so funny. So we started with ghost, which helped by not helping, right? It said, hey, you didn't get any of these right. So then I tried crank, which is a non-intersecting word from the word ghost, meaning it didn't use any of those letters. I tried to only use the letters that haven't been guessed. Then I got crank, and then that gave us the C in the right place, and there's an R somewhere. And then plume. Plume didn't have any letters except for the E. And then I tried cider, which actually is really, looking at the two words, they're really similar. Cider and cyber. That's so funny. ID was not it. And then I'm thinking, gosh, what other things? I tried cryer, C-R-Y-E-R, but I didn't guess it because the R is not in the second place. And then I'm, thinking of other letters that might have gone there, and we ended up with one of those seldom times that a Y is a vowel in this case. Look at that. So C-Y. B-E-R. Cyber. Nice. Okay. So let's play the Strands. Hey, Kendall, how you doing? Good morning. Thank you. Yeah, so you didn't do anything wrong. This is just the reason I don't look at my chat, right? Because people like to scream out the answer because they're like, well, duh, it's this, right? Or maybe they're just helping, we're doing the puzzle together. But part of the fun is kind of the productive struggle of like getting it yourself. So I tend to not look at the chat until after. So good morning. Appreciate you. The next thing I want to do is the Strands. I love Strands. It's just a really fun game. It helps me kind of sometimes learn new words, learn new things. So there is a theme. And today I am looking for 7 theme words. I wish I had a place I can show you there. And every once in a while, if we are just stuck, we can ask for a hint, but we can't ask for it all the time. And the last couple times, I've gotten pretty good where I don't need to ask for the hint, which is great. So let's, the theme is cold snap, and that could mean, there's a cold front coming through. That could also mean a snap like football. off the cuff, I see the word Riz. I also see the word wind. Wind. I like to look for corners first. That's why I saw the word wind right there. You know, and ER words. Cold snap. Ruler. A ruler can snap. Oh, I spelled it wrong. R-U-L. Oh, maybe it's over here. R-U-L-E-R. Snap a ruler. See, I haven't perfectly pinned down what our theme is either. Cold snap. You could cold snap. Snap like a button on a shirt. I see ZZ, and ZZ is very suspicious right here. Rizzler. Oh my gosh, that can't be part of it. That's really funny that the word Rizzler was in there. Oh, here's one. Sleet. Sleet. A cold snap. You might get sleet. You might get frost. How about drizzle? Drizzle, not the Rizzler. Drizzle. See, once it starts coming out, it makes a lot more sense. Winter. Oh, I see it. Winter weather. Like a lightning bolt. Winter weather. That's our spangram today. Winter weather. So I see another ZZ. Like two ZZs. Blizzard. And then, oh, well, of course, snow. In a cold snap, you're going to see snow. And then, oh, I see it. Flurry. Flurry. Oh, that was easy. That was an easy puzzle today. Cold snap. Cold snap. So the first one we saw, well, I saw wind in the top left corner, but it was not that wind. What did we see first? Oh, I thought I saw the word steel. And I was like, wait, there's an EE right there. So it was sleet. So sleet, that, you know, if you get one of them, it starts kind of showing you what the whole puzzle really means. You know, there's a theme, but you have to sort of pick apart the theme to understand what the other words are going to be. And so we ended up with sleet. And then I saw, what did I see next? I saw drizzle. Frost right there. Frost came out. And then I saw the spangram first thing. You know, the third thing I came up with was winter weather and drizzle, and then flurry, blizzard, frost, in no particular order, of course, snow. We got a snow yesterday. That was kind of fun. Kids playing out in the snow, having a snowball fight. It was a little wet, and so I was telling them, hey, don't pack it down into, you know, a big ice ball and throw it at each other. That would hurt. We actually did pretty well on that one. I was very surprised how quickly we ended up doing that one. All right. And then let's play Letterboxd. And some people have never played Letterboxd, but if you have never played, it's really fun. It's super good. This one we have to try to solve in 6 words. And I think we'll do pretty well today. 6 words. That's a lot of words that we have. Sometimes I'll solve these in 4 words, maybe 5 words. I usually don't use all 6 words though. It helps if you have a good grasp of the English language, of course, but if you can come up with larger words, especially maybe words that come up that use some of these more challenging letters like Z and X. Let's kind of familiarize ourselves with the puzzle a bit. So if you've never played, you are trying to line up letters by spanning across, and the first word of the second letter, the first letter of the second word it has to be the last letter of the first word, so they connect to each other. They link up. It helps if you connect some of the harder ones first, just so you can get them out of the way first thing. You don't want to wonder how you're going to fit in an X or a Z or an H or something without that. So figure out the hard ones first. And you can't use two letters that are right next to each other. So as much as I would love to do, LE at the end of a word, I can't. So on the top, we've got T, I, and U. On this side, we have E, L, O. And then on the bottom, Z, A, R, R, A, Z, like Brazil. But there's no B. And I couldn't span them together anyway because they're on the same side as each other. X, H, N. All right, so first thing that pops out, what I'm going to have to get rid of first are probably the Z and the X. And if I want to use the H, it's likely I'm going to link it to the T because there's not an S or a C that could connect that as well. H is a great helper word, a helper letter by itself. But without some of those, we might have a hard time connecting. So what if we started with, what's a word that could get rid of our Z or our X? I can't say exit because the I and the T are next to each other. And I don't necessarily need to start with the letter Z, but I certainly would like to have it in the word. How about like... Oh, I can't do texture because T and U are in the same side. Dang. Okay, let's back up out of that one. And I can't do an A, I can't do RA. I could go... Oh, there's no M. I was going to say extreme. Oh, that might be tricky. Oh, boy. Oh, I can't do EL. I was going to say elixir. There's no S. Oh, gosh. I was going to say noxious. Man, oh, man. This one is tricky. Okay, I do have 6 guesses, so I can kind of slow down and do smaller words also. I don't necessarily have to do, gymundous words today because I can do it in 6. So we could start with maybe like... Hexer, someone that does hexes. Not a word, no! Or hexed. I don't want to end on an X. That is a bad thing. I don't want to do that. Okay, so if hex, then we could have the H be like a TH word at the end. Like, I don't know. We'll cross that bridge when we get to it. What about the Z, though? God, like all the words that I'm thinking of for a Z don't also have don't they have letters that are not in this puzzle. There's no C. Let's see. An LE doesn't work. Like, I was gonna say like taser, but I think that's with an S. No, maybe it's a Z. But anyway, I can't do it because AZ is right next to each other. Oh, why am I not thinking of Z words? Maze. Zap. Zip. Zulu. That's a word. That's a proper name, I guess. Zin. I really should get rid of the U too. That one's gonna come back to bite me. No, man. I would love to get rid of the U. I know the U is gonna be a hard one to come around to, especially where the T. I just feel like the T. Nihilanth? Sure, that's a word. Maybe I'm spelling it right. Next. That's a good word. Next. Man, these are tricky letters to need to put together. I can't say truth because the U and the T are on the same side. True. And that puts me to... There's no C. I was going to say echo. EA. I can't say earth either. EAR. Ethereal. That's a word. Finally a big word, okay. And then we're left with just the L word that has to have an O in it. And now, of course, the only thing I can think of is LO words. L. How about just like lion? There we go. Lion. There we go. Got rid of it. Okay. So we started. First thing I wanted to get rid of the Z. What are you going to use Z for? So Z for Zin. And then the N opened up for the word next. And then because of that, they got rid of the E and the X and the T. Well, I wanted to get rid of the X as well, because X, man, is just a tough one to put in somewhere. And then the T led us to the word true. Actually, surprisingly, the letter U was a little hard to get rid of today. And then ethereal. And then the L, I just needed the O. So I'm like, what's an L word that has an O in it that I can span across? I kept thinking of LO words, but when L and O are connected to each other, they're right next to each other. You can't use it on the same side. So Lion, lion. Nice. Okay. Let me show you how we did on some of these puzzles. Okay, so connections was fun today. Hardly bustling is a calm day, a quiet day, sleepy day, or some, slow. Slow is actually the answer in the mini crossword like 2 days ago. It's funny, it was in there today again. Remote control functions, that was a home button, mute, stop, and volume. I thought they were maybe buttons on an MP3 player, tape player or something. Remote control. To earn, this should have been the easy category, but I made it not easy for myself. I was thinking, gross and net and yield, and then like volume. I was guessing around, and I didn't want to waste my guesses, so I didn't just push myself to click the obvious one, which should have been the obvious one, right? But to earn is to gross or to make. How much do you make? Net and yield. And then this one, maybe I should have gotten earlier because I am a drummer, right? Snare drum. But words before drum, eardrum, kettle drum, oil drum, snare drum. That's great. Okay, so that was the connections today. We did pretty well on that one. And then the mini crossword was fun. We actually got this one before we even, here, I'll just show these to you. What verb or adjective is, confusingly. A verb is not a verb is a noun. And the word adjective is also a noun. That's pretty funny. These two went together nicely, right? On the blank, if it's free, it's on the house. And then connected to that, where the heart is, so to say. Home is where the heart is. The next one, one holding a deed would be the owner. And large in scope as a photography lens would be a macro. Macro photography is beautiful. You take the small world and make it larger than life, right? Blow it up bigger. They're rolled in annoyance. Your eyes. You might roll your eyes in annoyance. You've got to be kidding. No way. And it's funny, these last ones I didn't even get to because we just did the across hints and the clues just gave it away. So, you've got to be kidding. No way. Next one, unit equal to roughly 28 grams. That is an ounce. 28 grams per ounce-ish. App customers are users. The infamous Roman emperor, that was Nero. And then over here, where the heart is, it said, home is where the heart is. Okay, and then we have our Wordle. There's our Wordle. And we'll admire our puzzle for a sec. We've played quite a few times. We've missed a streak a few times, New Year's Day, or it was the day after New Year's. I don't know. We had a very busy day. We've missed our streak a couple times, but that's okay. We're here to play the game, not to, try to keep Snapchat streak up or something. We haven't guessed it on the first or second. That would be fun. We did get it on the third one time. I'm really good at getting it on the fourth. My strategy works really nicely for me. And then there's the fifth and the sixth. That usually, hopefully I don't have to wait all the way to the sixth. Today we got it on the fifth. So let me show you. My strategy is to just come up with a word and deal with the consequences, and then start coming up with non-intersecting words. Like, for example, ghost, and then the word crank doesn't use any of those exact same letters. Now, I got lucky saying the word crank, even though ghost didn't give me any hints. That told me that, hey, these are not any of the letters. It was only 26, so, this is a supply and demand. That did actually help me. And then crank, right? We got C at the very beginning. And then there is an R. We don't know where it is yet, though. And then I tried the word plume, another non-intersecting word between those three. Plume. And the E was correct, but in the wrong place. Kind of reminds me of this great game that I play with my kids called Mastermind. I don't know if you know that game, Mastermind. It's an old game from, probably before I was born. I inherited it from somebody. But the idea is you try and guess the color pattern, these little colored dots, and you have to put them in the right position. And your opponent will tell you if they're right in the right place or if they're the right color by giving you these white or black little pegs. And if the white peg is there, that means the color is correct but in the wrong place, kind of like the yellow tiles in Wordle. And then for the green ones, that would be a black peg in Mastermind. It was a great game, super fun. I still have it. We play with my kids sometimes. So now that we've got a white peg, two white pegs and a black peg, right? The yellow and the red, or the green, I mean. This one I guessed cider because I knew that the C there, and it's likely it's an ER word, right? So I put it CIDER, and actually not too far off from the actual letters. Cider. That's too funny. I was thinking maybe it was a double letter. It's funny, I thought of doubled letters before I thought of, maybe it's a Y, because Y is technically a vowel, right? But not as often used. So we ended up with cyber. Anyway, yeah, great puzzles today. I can't show you the strands, or else it'll start a new one for you, in a new puzzle. And we can't do letterboxed. So I'll leave you with this. Have a great, awesome day, and I hope that everything goes well for you today. So enjoy. See you on the next one.